highlight tomorrow on this edition of SportsCenter.
All right, speaking of those two, let's get into the NBA postseason with NBA insider Adrian Wojnarowski. Woj, before we dive into the playing games, you got a couple of pieces of breaking news. What can you tell us?
Jay, first, Monty Williams, the Phoenix Suns head coach, has been voted as the National Basketball Coaches Association's NBA Coach of the Year, and that's voted on by the 30 NBA head coaches. Remarkable turnaround in Phoenix under Monty Williams, second best record in the NBA this season, the number 2 seed in the Western Conference, and this after 2 years ago inheriting a team that had only won 19 games. But the Suns are set to be in the playoffs later this week, but the Indiana Pacers are going to suffer, a significant blow to their chances of advancing in tonight's play-in against Charlotte. I'm told that Karis LeVert, their guard, has entered into the league's health and safety protocols. He will not play tonight against Charlotte. He's expected now to be out for 10 to 14 days, which would eliminate him even if Indiana advanced into the playoffs. And Malcolm Brogdon is a game-time decision for Indiana, so they're certainly going to be down some important players.
Yeah, that's tough news for the Pacers. Okay, let's get out to L.A. What's the latest you're hearing about how LeBron James and Anthony Davis are feeling?
Jay, I'm told both feel good going into this play-in game against Golden State. That LeBron's ankle injury on Sunday, where he tweaked that high ankle sprain again, has not lingered. That he feels about as optimum, is about as optimal as he hoped he might be going into this postseason. But there's some a good sense that those two are about as good as they could be here heading into that Warriors game.
All right, let's go from the Lakers to the Celtics. You recently had Jason Tatum on your podcast, the Woj Pod. He talked about his experience with COVID-19. What was your biggest takeaway from discussing how the virus has impacted him this season?
It's impacted Jason Tatum's breathing. He really struggled coming out of that 3-week bout with COVID in January, and had a lot of difficulty on the floor, off the court, with his breathing, and still says now his breathing and his breathing patterns are different, and yet he has put up career highs in score points, rebounds, assists. There's a great deal of burden on Jason Tatum as the Celtics head into this play-in now, especially with Jaylen Brown out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, he's played very well despite dealing with all that. Woj, always a pleasure. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, Jay.
All right, here's our...
For the play-in tournament, exactly where the Lakers wanted to be, right? Well, not so much, but that's okay. They're in the play-in tournament. We got to face the Warriors as we start with the Lakers here. The good news for LA is that they've got LeBron James back from his lingering ankle injury, and that is good news. Here is Woj with the latest on LeBron and AD.
I'm told both feel good going into this play-in game against Golden State. That LeBron's ankle injury on Sunday, where he tweaked that high ankle sprain again, has not lingered. That he feels about as optimum, is about as optimal as he hoped he might be going into this postseason. But there's some a good sense that those two are about as good as they could be here heading into that Warriors game.
Thank you, Woj. Let's welcome in our Dave McMenamin now for the latest. Put the injury aside, Dave. What else are you hearing about the focus for this Lakers team as they get set for the Warriors team that nobody really wanted to play at this point?
Yeah, Sage, the Lakers were on the road this past weekend for a back-to-back, and so when they returned to Los Angeles, the team was given off Monday, but I'm told the coaching staff got together for close to 3 hours to try to strategize what they can do to stop the league's leading scorer in Steph Curry. Now, the Lakers averaged only 25th in the league in made threes per game, and they were 21st in three-point percentage, so they're going to have to make up for that somehow. And they'd love to get to the foul line early and often against the Warriors to try to make up for that gap. LeBron James, as Woj mentioned, he said there'd be no issues with his ankle. He would go into his personal prep on Monday to get ready for the Warriors game. Today they'll meet as a team, and they'll have 24 hours to get ready for the showdown Wednesday.
The countdown is on. Dave, thank you. Let's keep it going now. Jay?
Yes, Age, the Lakers finished 3 games ahead of the Warriors, got it done mostly on the defensive end, allowing the second fewest points per game this season. Meanwhile, the Warriors scored more than the defending champs and got it done from beyond the arc, thanks in large part to Steph Curry. Golden State finished 3rd in the NBA in three-pointers made. Now, recently, Draymond Green addressed the change in mindset as Golden State pushes for a playoff berth.
For a second there, we were the hunters. Then we turned into the hunted for 5-6 years, whatever it was. And now we're hunting again. And, you know, that's always a fun position to be in when you're hunting, going after everybody else. So, you know, obviously has experienced both. But I love hunting. That's fun.
All right, let's welcome in Nick Friedel. Nick, we just heard Draymond Green talking about how the Warriors feel like hunters. He loves hunting after being the hunted for so many years. How does having Steph Curry factor into the attitude and mindset as they get ready for this playoff game against the Lakers?
Jay, they feel like they have the baddest hunter there is. That makes a huge difference in confidence. I think the best description came from Juan Toscano-Anderson the other day. He said, it's like going into a street fight with Mike Tyson. You know that he's got your back, Steph does, and you know he's going to be there to protect everybody, and it lifts everybody else's level of play. They want to play as well as Steph's been playing because they feel like they owe it to him given the season that he's had. But then, Jay, the other day after that Grizzlies game, Juan Toscano-Anderson is back there up at the podium, and he goes, you know, kind of like playing with Picasso. He's a true artist out there on the floor. So in 1 week, we've gone from Tyson to Picasso. This team has the utmost confidence that Steph Curry is going to rain down threes against the Lakers. They're going to find a way to get into that first round. And then when they get there, they're going to have a legit puncher's chance because they have what they feel is the MVP of the league.
See, that's back to Mike Tyson with the puncher's chance. I see what you did there, Nick. Very well done. Nick Friedel. Thank you.
On the line. And as far as Stephen and LeBron, they met a total of 38 times, 22 of those coming across 4 NBA Finals matchups. LeBron has posted better individual numbers overall and is actually 9-7 against Stephen in the regular season. But Curry's Warriors, they've gone 15-7 against LeBron in the playoffs, including that sweep in the NBA Finals in 2018. Love that they're facing off again.
Yep.
How about this? The NBA's best plays. Why not? We begin with the Jazz and the Pelicans on January 21st. Donovan Mitchell. How about that crossover on Nickeil Alexander-Walker? He struggles to even stay on his feet.
Crossed it twice.
Yes, double. That's not fair. That's how we get going.
Best block, Jazz Bucks. Giannis with the floater. Rudy Gobert says, float that, bro. Clean. He got up. Get it out of here.
To the best oops. Yeah, Lakers and Warriors, go figure. Kyle Kuzma, that's a technical free throw. Look at Draymond.
Technically
just
awful.
Cracking up. Because the whole bench, because he missed everything. Even Kyle had to say, yeah, that wasn't good. And then, this is a couple weeks later at the Clippers, again. All right. I mean, we're not going to call you Shaq yet as far as your performance.